What's a good word, guys? Matt here, Matt McCoy, country song teacher. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I try to take something that's somewhat complicated, at least it was for me when I first started learning, and make it easier for you guys and gals out there. Maybe you just got a guitar for Christmas and you're ready to start your journey. I'm going to go over kind of some very, very basic beginner things you need to know if you're learning this instrument. And hopefully, like I said, I can say something maybe you already know or you don't know to kind of help kind of that light bulb go off. Help you learn. This right here is the neck of the guitar. This is the body of the guitar. The first thing you want to know is just, so these are called the tuning knobs. The first thing you want to do when you play a guitar is make sure it is in tune. I can't tell you how many times I used to teach somebody in person and the guitar wasn't tuned. The way you tune a guitar, I use a guitar app called Get Tuna, G-U-I-T-U-N-A. It's free for basic tuning. And you'll go through, remember the strings are E, A, D, G, B, A. I remember that by Eddie 8 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. So, just like I said, you want to memorize those or whatever. When we're talking about numbers of strings, they start at the bottom. So the bottom string is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's important to know. If somebody says like the first string, they're talking about the bottom. The sixth string, they're talking about the top. Each of these little squares is called a fret. So each time you go up a fret, it's a half a step higher on the guitar. So fret, fret, fret. You can see there's a dot on the third fret, a dot on the fifth, a dot on the seventh, a dot on the ninth, and 2 dots on the 12th. That's for kind of quicker reference points. So when you're playing your chords, that kind of thing. Before you learn any kind of chords, I would say go over 2 things here. The first one is how to hold the guitar. Now, a lot of times what I used to see people do is their leg is lower than the rest of their body, so when they have the guitar, it's sliding off their leg, and every time they go to play it, my son, my 8-year-old does this, it's sliding off. Make sure your knee is higher than your waist. That way the guitar, instead of down here, is going to be pushed up, which allows you kind of closer access to do your lesson. So make sure your knee is higher than your waist. I also, when I'm a beginner, kind of tilt the guitar back a little bit so that you can see over it. What I recommend when I used to teach people in person, I hope your guitar, this one's not too thin, but I would like for a guitar to be a little bit thinner. Even a lot of times people will learn on an electric guitar because you can see the differences in the thickness. Electric guitar is way, way thinner, so it's way easier to get closer to your body and see over top. If you don't have electric, that's fine. I used to teach people in college, and a lot of people wanted to learn on the electric for that reason because it's thinner. But whatever it is, the thickness, make sure, like I said, your knee is higher than your waist. It's slightly tilted back, so you can see over the guitar, and that way you can get closer to press the strings that you need to press for the chords. So once you kind of, like I said, you have your guitar, you understand how to hold the guitar, you know the body. This is the sound hole, this is the body, this is the neck, these are the tuning knobs. Like I said, once you go through each string and tighten and loosen like that app will tell you, and you have it in tune, it's going to sound, like I said, really clear, ready to play. I used to teach so many beginners, and I did this a lot of times. I would think I was doing certain chords right. It just sounded awful. What I didn't realize, I didn't have the guitar tuned, so I cannot stress enough. Make sure that guitar is tuned, or you're going to sound awful. Remember, the strings are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see the bottom strings are a little bit thinner than the top string. So you got, and remember the string names, if you need them, are E, A, D, G, B, E. So there's a low E, the top string, a high E on the bottom. The next thing I would tell you is make sure when you're using a guitar pick that it's a flimsy guitar pick. Don't get one of those real thick, stiff ones. It's going to go, it's going to click, click, click. It's going to really clunk down on those strings and make it sound bad. When you're doing rhythm guitar, especially for country, praise and worship music, get a thinner pick that's kind of flimsy, and hold it really loose in your hand with your thumb straight across. So y'all know a lot of times I don't even use a guitar pick, but when you use it, like I said, have your thumb straight across, just showing a little bit of the pick. And I want you to start out with just down strums. Don't even play a chord. Just maybe take this hand here. And instead, you don't want the pick going straight down here. You don't want that pick going straight down. Have it a little bit angled up and rake down slowly. So again, if you have the pick straight up and down, it's going to cause a clunkier sound. When you slightly angle the pick pointed, the thinner side pointed up, it's going going to rake down the strings a little bit better, especially for a beginner. And when you're doing your first chords, I would say play a little bit softer. All your friends and family, they're going to thank me for that tip. But when you're first learning, you don't want to be too jamming, too loud. You want to go a little bit softer until you get a clearer sound. So the first 2 chords I would tell someone to learn, take your middle finger and ring finger. Now, when you're talking about your hand, your first finger is number 1, middle finger 2, ring finger 3, pinky 4. Remember that. The thumb's nothing. So 1, 2, 3, 4 when you're talking about. So take your second and third finger. Your second finger on the 4th string. Remember the bottom's 1. 4th string, 2nd fret. And your ring finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. So it's called an A5 chord. Just work on going down. Then take both of those fingers up to the 5th and 4th. Keep that same formation, just going to slide them up. So instead of the 2 middle strings, you're going up to the 5th and 4th string and strum all 6. And what I would tell somebody to do on the first lesson is work on doing a 4 count with each of those. So start the 2 middle strings and go 1, 2, 3, 4, moving up to 5th and 4th, 1. Just work on that. Now, what I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if you're a beginner, I can promise you, your chords are going to sound something like this. That's totally fine. What happens is your fingers aren't quite calloused with those little lines yet. And the other thing is you are probably hitting strings that you don't want to hit. What you're going to have to do to fix that is you're going to have to, like a lot of people, I see people get lazy at first and you're laying your fingers down and they're touching those bottom strings. You want to learn to bring your hand out, have those strings just pressing the exact strings they're supposed to press. So you don't want to go too high or too low. Put just the strings you're supposed to press right there. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to get really fancy, on the 4th, you can do an up strum on the bottom 1st and 2nd string like this. Remember, you're not doing it on an up strum. You're not strumming all the strings, just the bottom 2. And I tell my son this, my 8-year-old, all the time. Also, I'm just teaching him guitar. I said, don't think you're getting better by going. He tries to go too fast. Music is all about a rhythm and a timing and a flow. So it's. Steady and smooth on rhythm. So that's kind of your first lesson. I would tell somebody if I was just teaching them in person to work on what are the parts of the guitar, how to hold the guitar, how to hold your pick, how to tune the guitar, how to place your hands, what a fret is, what the string numbers are, what your finger names are, all that kind of fun stuff. And play your first 2 or 3 chords to kind of get you in the flow. If you're new to guitar, go to CountrySongTeacher.com. It's all one word. All the links are in the description. CountrySongTeacher.com. I've got beginner guitar DVDs that break it down, very zoomed in lessons. Like I said, my Praise in 10 Days 1 DVD is the best place to start. It's going to teach you all the fundamentals, your first few chords, strumming patterns, that kind of thing. And then there's a Learn Guitar 2 to kind of help you advance to the next level. I've got songbooks that use 4 chords, G, C, E minor, and D. You want to check out those. All kinds of fun stuff on my website. So if you're new, please let me know in the comment section below. Let me know. Just put I'm new. I'll start working with you, that kind of thing. What's up, buddy? So go to CountrySongTeacher.com and you'll see the lesson there. Please smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, God bless you.